Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This one is on the Skirmish Officer set, and it's free repair. And I will show you what you need to do. So you could bring in Lilith in here if it weren't for the turrets. Nothing in here can shoot Lilith except for the turrets. So what you want to do is focus on the turrets and get the turrets out of there, and then you can bring your Lilith in to clear it up. Um, you can clear this thing with your Albert Ross, but most of the time you're not going to be able to clear it. Most of the time you're going to take 6 or 7 minutes, and I just don't like that repair time. So actually, I'm bringing Albert Ross in there. I turned too soon. You see how I brought him close to the base? You don't want to do that. That was actually a mistake. Um, and, you know, it'll be okay. But I turned too soon. I had him off the map where I couldn't see him, and I thought he was further down. So make sure you get him further down before you turn him. And then also keep in mind that you can spread your damage out. So what I'm doing here is I'm clearing these outside turrets, and you can use, for instance, you've got 4 platoons. Remember, you got 4 air platoons, so you can use other units in your air platoon, and just make sure that they remain free repair. Don't let them get any damage on them, to speak of. I don't really use the Tango or the Delta in this base, so I just use a couple of Tango and Delta units to just take out a couple of things. And like I said, the main thing you want to focus on is turrets. And then the turrets in the back don't really bother Lilith either. It's the turrets on the center of the base. Lilith can take those other units, these other turrets out, and basically have like 1 second worth of damage. And what this does is this just sort of guarantees you that you're going to have free repair. That's all. Um, I am going to take out that one turret though. And the floaters in the back are all the turrets that don't do any damage. That one turret that was on the ground was the only one that was going to do any damage. And Lilith can take damage from 1 or 2 of the main turrets. Um, and then once you clear the turrets, and by the way, it might seem slower this way, but believe me, it's really not. It might take 10 or 15 seconds longer to do the base using Lilith um, rather than Albert Ross. However, if you go back to your base and you have 3 or 4 or 5 minutes of damage, that's really what's going to take longer. So spread your damage out over all 4 of your platoons. This base is basically a Lilith base. Once there's nothing really left, you can bring in a couple of Warhogs. Um, you know, like I said, I hadn't used my Alpha platoon yet. The only thing on Alpha that took any damage was Lilith, and it was probably like 1 second damage. Was no big deal. So all 4 platoons free repair, and that's repeatable. That's what you want. You want it to be repeatable so that you can do it over and over again, okay? Uh, Remember, learning how to do these bases, it takes time to get it down to a science. And so that's what I'm trying to show you. There is a science to it. Um, Now, I'm not using missiles on this base. I'm not using Mercs or anything like that. You can use a Merc, but I don't want to mess around with Mercs because I always have to go back to my base and build them, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just using a technique where I'm going to bring in a Warhog here, and that's basically going to be my Merc. I'm taking him over in the corner over there. The only thing that can get through my Lilith that's fast enough is the buggies. So, and I don't think that they can reach him, and I also don't think they can shoot him because he's moving. So, I could just leave him there, but I just redeploy him after I feel like it's clear again. The buggies, like I said, are the only thing that can get through. Now I'll leave him over there because literally the aura of Lilith will slow everything down, so that there's no way they can get to him. And again, for this base, what you want to do is you want to, with your Albert Ross, what you're looking at is taking out the turrets. Now, like I said, there are certain turrets that really don't bother Lilith, and I'm going to show you what those are right here. This one with the basically, if it's got a boost on it or a support turret, you want to kill the support turrets. For instance, the blue one that protects the turret. Now, all we have back here, I think, is three flak turrets. Those three flak turrets aren't going to do any damage. They have no support uh, turrets on them, so they're not going to do any damage to Lilith. So go ahead and bring Lilith back here. You can basically clear the front side of the base now. And then all we have to do with Albert Ross is clear um, the turrets on the right side and the turrets in the back. And when that's done, the base is basically done because Albert Ross does so much damage um, that one shot he's taken out 9 or 10 infantry. So um, I like to get everything sort of pushed back here where Albert Ross can fly around without anything able to shoot him, and uh, and then I also like to take out these bunkers. I don't want to get too close to the hunter missiles in the back because the hunter missiles will cause Lilith damage, and Lilith is so slow that if the hunter missiles start shooting her, she can't really get off the map before taking, like 7 or 8 hits, and 7 or 8 hits is probably not going to be free repair. So just don't get hit by those hunter missiles, okay? Um, if you see any defensive buildings, you see uh, the defense lab or a go-go bar, always kill those. They provide, and now I think the TAC Ops building also provides protection. So if you see a TAC Ops, kill that one. Notice Lilith is still totally green. Um, I haven't gone back to check, but I already know that it's like maybe not even a minute worth of damage. And like I say, there's a hunter over there, and I want to stay away from the hunter. But the hunters seem to do a lot more damage to Lilith than the heavy flags. Well, that hunter looked at me. I don't see it shooting me, but I'm getting off the map because it looked at me. I must have been like right on the edge of it. So now we'll go ahead and see if we can clear off a couple of turrets. And, like there's no sense. And so I go all the way over here to the top right side of the base to stay away from all of the infantry. The little infantry don't bother me, but the Hyperions, I think they're called Hyperions, those guys shoot a missile that follows me, and then I have to get off the map. And I don't want that missile to hit uh, my Albert Ross. So I'm going to come in and take care of a couple of the Hyperions because they just aggravate me. But if you'll notice, the whole front side of the base there to the left is all clear for Albert Ross. There's really nothing there. And I'm leaving as many inert buildings as possible. That way Albert Ross can shoot those inert buildings. And um, and by shooting those inert buildings, he gets the splash, or not the splash, but the it's kind of splash, yeah. It's not splash damage, but it's a splash shot, and it shoots in that direction. So now we can bring Albert Ross in and just sort of basically clear the base. See, there's an inert build. Well, it's a railgun, but it's inert to Albert Ross, right? So notice that shot just takes out like just about everything, one shot. I really do love Albert Ross. And we're just going to clean up the front side of the base right here and see if we can. So, I think the hunter was shooting me, so I left the map. The hunter had looked like it was shooting me. And the hunter's not supposed to stop shooting you, but I think when you get like really far away, it does stop shooting you. But it was something over there shot me. So I went off the map. So there we go. It's basically cleared. I'll put it on aggressive now and see if we can clear out the rest of this. And notice Albert Ross is like really green, hardly any damage on him. So if your units work together, also if anybody takes any damage, don't forget you've still got Richard and you've still got 2 extra platoons that you can use if you have Richard. I do like Richard. Richard comes in and can take out turrets faster than anybody else. He can take out the support turrets, and he can take out the turrets, and he can go right up to the Hyperions and take them out really quickly. So if you have him, he is also useful. All right, guys, hope it was helpful. Good luck.